Have you ever dreamed of traveling across Europe in the most relaxing, scenic way possible? Imagine gliding past charming villages, towering mountains, and sprawling vineyards, all while chilling in a comfy seat and sipping coffee. Well, that's exactly what train travel in Europe offers. In today's video, we're going on an epic adventure by train across Europe. Whether you want to visit multiple countries, soak in the views, or just experience a different way of traveling, this is for you. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into what it's really like to travel across Europe by train. Spoiler alert, it's amazing. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy this kind of content and subscribe if you want more travel adventures. Let's get started. Why train travel in Europe is awesome. Alright, so why travel by train when there are planes, buses, and cars? Let me tell you, train travel in Europe is not just a way to get from point A to point B. It's an experience. It's relaxing, it's scenic, and it's surprisingly efficient. First of all, the views are unbeatable. When you're flying, you're thousands of feet up, looking at clouds. But on a train, you're right there on the ground, gliding past vineyards, castles, mountains, rivers, and charming little villages. It's like you're in a movie. Plus, train stations are usually in the middle of cities, unlike airports, which are often way out of town. That means you hop off the train and boom, you're already downtown ready to explore. And let's not forget the comfort. Trains have roomy seats, you can walk around whenever you want, and many trains even have cafe cars where you can grab a snack or a coffee. Some long-distance trains even offer sleeper cabins, so you can travel overnight and wake up in a whole new country. Oh, and did I mention you don't have to deal with security lines or strict luggage limits? Just show up a few minutes before departure, find your seat, and you're off. It's so easy. Planning your route. Now that I've hopefully convinced you that train travel is awesome, let's talk about planning your route. Europe is incredibly well connected by rail, so there are endless possibilities. You can do the classic Euro trip and hit major cities like Paris, Amsterdam, Berlin, and Rome. This is perfect if it's your first time in Europe and you want to see the big highlights. But if you're into nature, you might want to explore the Swiss Alps, the Austrian countryside, or the Norwegian fjords. There are some seriously scenic train routes, like the Glacier Express in Switzerland or the Flam Railway in Norway. Want something more off the beaten path? Eastern Europe has some fantastic train routes too. You can travel through Poland, Hungary, and the Balkans and discover beautiful cities and landscapes without the crowds. Ticket options. Eurail Pass is point-to-point tickets. Okay, so you know where you want to go, but how do you buy train tickets? There are two main options. A Eurail Pass or individual tickets, also called point-to-point tickets. A Eurail Pass is like a magic golden ticket for train travel. You pay a set price, and then you can take as many trains as you want within a certain number of days. This is great if you want flexibility and plan to visit multiple countries. Just keep in mind that some high-speed or night trains might need reservations in advance. If you already know exactly where and when you want to travel, point-to-point tickets might be cheaper. You can often find good deals if you book early, especially on high-speed trains. Pack smart for train travel. Now let's talk about packing. One of the best things about train travel is that you don't have to worry about strict baggage rules like you do with planes. But you'll still want to pack smart. Bring a carry-on or backpack that's easy to handle and lift. Trains often have overhead luggage racks, and sometimes you'll need to store your bags in a luggage area at the end of the carriage. Having a smaller, lighter bag will make it easier to move around. Also, pack a little day kit with essentials like snacks, water, a book, or your headphones. Some trains have food cars, but having your own snacks is always a good idea, especially if you're on a long journey. Oh, and don't forget to bring a power bank or portable charger. Many modern trains have outlets, but not all of them, so it's better to be prepared. A typical train journey. What to expect. Now let's talk about what an actual train journey is like. Imagine you're in Paris, and you want to head to Amsterdam. You arrive at the beautiful Gare du Nord station. There's no hassle, just a quick check of your ticket and maybe your ID, and you're good to go. You board the train and the seats are comfortable with plenty of legroom. You've got a window seat, and as the train pulls out, you see the city fade away. Before long, you're zooming past fields and windmills. Maybe you get hungry, so you walk to the cafe car and grab a croissant and a coffee. You're not stuck in your seat. You can stretch your legs, watch the world go by, and maybe even make a new friend. It's so relaxing. A few hours later, you pull into Amsterdam Central Station, right in the heart of the city. You step off the train and you're ready to explore. Night trains, sleep and save. Let's talk about night trains for a second. If you want to save time and money on accommodations, night trains are awesome. You can go to sleep in one city and wake up at another. Some popular routes include the nightjet trains that run between cities like Vienna, Munich, and Berlin. These trains often have different options, from simple seats to cozy sleeping compartments. Just make sure to book these well in advance because they can fill up quickly. My favorite train adventures in Europe. I've taken some pretty epic train journeys in Europe, and I want to share a few favorites with you. First up, the train from London to Paris on the Eurostar. It goes under the English Channel through the famous Channel. It's super fast, and in just over 2 hours, you go from the UK to France. How cool is that? Another favorite is the train from Venice to Vienna. You go through the Austrian Alps, and the scenery is just chef's kiss. Think snow-capped mountains, green valleys, and charming little villages. And I can't forget the Glacier Express in Switzerland. It's called the slowest express train in the world because it takes its time winding through the mountains. You'll see glaciers, rivers, and some of the most beautiful landscapes on Earth. Stay safe and keep your belongings close. Europe is generally very safe for travelers, but it's always smart to keep an eye on your belongings. Keep your bags close to you, and if you're storing luggage away from your seat, make sure you've got valuables like your passport, wallet, and phone on you. If you're traveling solo, it's also a good idea to let someone know your travel plans, just in case. So there you have it, an amazing way to explore Europe that's scenic, relaxing, and fun. Whether you want to visit iconic cities or travel through the countryside, Europe's trains can get you there in style. Travel etiquette on trains. A quick note on train etiquette. In Europe, train travel is super common, and there are some unspoken rules to keep in mind. First, keep your voice down, especially in quiet cars or early morning trains. People might be sleeping, working, or just enjoying a peaceful ride. Second, if you're sitting at a table seat and the train gets crowded, be ready to share the table with others. It's all part of the experience. And finally, always have your ticket or rail pass handy because conductors will come around to check. Alright guys, those are my top tips for cross-country train adventures in Europe. I hope these help you plan an amazing trip. There's just something so special about traveling by train, seeing the landscapes change, and exploring new cities along the way. If you enjoyed this video or found these tips helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on future travel videos. And hey, if you've got your own train travel tips or fun stories, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye.